shirt. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. A snowy, not very cold Monday, but a Monday nonetheless. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico with you as always. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's the day?
So far, so good. It's beautiful. It's snowing.
Are you ready to shovel?
I haven't had to drive in the snow. I came here before it started snowing.
Yeah.
Parked in our beautiful parking garage, and luckily I don't have to scrape any snow off my car because I left my ice scraper at home. So,
do you get a garage spot at the house?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we have
I knew you had a two-car garage, but
Yeah,
sometimes
nice
people fill up half of it with clutter. And
yeah, no. Well, A lot of it is filled with clutter, but
Okay.
no, we have enough room for both cars, so
Good.
I don't have to worry about scooping snow off the car. But I might have to shovel. What I'll do, because you ever have that thing where you pull into the garage, you drive on the driveway, and then when you go to scoop, there's that
It's
pack
stuck.
down. It's
Yeah.
the worst. So I might park on the street, walk inside, shovel the driveway, or at least shovel the driveway where I drive in, park the car in there, and then shovel the rest of the driveway.
I think today's a snowblower day. I don't know.
You have a snowblower?
For the people that are at home that have already done this, let us know. 402-464-5685. Is it heavy enough for a snowblower, or is it not ready for a snowblower? Let us know. 464-5685. Because sometimes, like, you got out the snowblower and you're like, I could have done this with the shovel. So
Is that I've never had a snowblower, so I don't
know. Snowblowers are kind of nice. But anyway, nonetheless, a little bit of news here, Rico. Let's start off with Husker volleyball right from the get-go. Because Nebraska volleyball, we know they added Taylor Landfair, the Minnesota All-American, just a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
How about this? Allie Batenhorst, former Husker, and I say former because Allie Batenhorst, outside hitter, after 4 years with the Huskers, has decided to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, the part of the 2021 class. She's entered the portal with that. After that historic 2021 class, that she's in the portal now, and you kind of saw it coming that one of the outside hitters would enter the portal. Not sure who it would have been, but it turns out that Allie Batenhorst will be graduating in May and then finishing her master's somewhere else and playing her final season of beach and indoor with a different program. She stepped in admirably for Lindsey Krause. They were both playing. So, like, saying she stepped in, they were both playing. Krause was just getting more of the rotations, more of the playing time. But Batenhorst steps in when Krause gets hurt both times and ends up finishing the season as the de facto starter for them. So she played really well. I think she hit like 180, like 189, and had averaged like two and a quarter kills per set this last season for the national runners-up. So it's her experience, her tenacity, she improved mightily defensively. You know, it's 6'5" of her at the net. She improved mightily defensively, and her at the net, along with whoever was middle blocker, whether it be Andy Jackson or Becca Alec, proved very, very formidable up at the net for Nebraska. But they're gonna. They're going to miss her, but getting somebody of the caliber of Taylor Landfair in, it's hard to kind of deny her any type of time and have somebody who played so much significant time to ride the bench.
Well, and so where does this leave the Huskers, right? So an outside hitter, obviously they lose Batenhorst, but an outside hitter, Harper Murray, Taylor Landfair, Lindsey Krause, and then new true freshman Sky Pierce will be an outside hitter for Nebraska for the Huskers. At middle blocker, obviously you have Andy Jackson and Becca Alec.
Sophomore and a junior.
At opposite, you have Merritt Beeson. Setters, you have Bergen Riley and Kennedy Orr, which I want to have a conversation about the setter position. Then at obviously libero and defensive specialist Rodriguez, Laney, Olivia Mock, who was named Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year today, and then Maisie Bozinger as well from Norris High School. So, and we found out one scholarship is open.
So
for Nebraska volleyball.
So what they do, and I was wrong. It was a tweet a couple of weeks ago. I was wrong in thinking that they were 2 scholarships over. They were right at the limit because defensive specialists usually don't get 4-year scholarships. So we'll see where you have Choboy on scholarship, Rodriguez on scholarship, and then Bosiger and Mock probably not on scholarship, walk on. So Nebraska has one open scholarship, which you would think, and by think I mean we can all pretty much pencil in that Nebraska will be targeting a middle blocker in the portal to bring in. But the hard thing with targeting a middle blocker is you have you already have your 2 middle blocker rotation. You need a third one for just in case, an emergency, break this glass in case of emergency type of middle blocker. But you don't want to just, fill the position with somebody. You want to go out and get somebody who will give you some quality time. But the problem is somebody who can give you some quality time might be looking for more time to give.
Well, and it's interesting. So the transfer portal, just for context and information here, transfer portal in college volleyball closed January 1st. The reason why Batenhorst and other players may still be transferring, making their intentions known, deciding on entering the transfer portal. If you're a grad transfer, you can transfer, similar rules to football, basketball, stuff like that. You can transfer at any time before May 1st, as long as you're a grad transfer. So you're looking at experienced players potentially entering the portal. And as Rico said, figuring out a way to continue elevating that talent in the room, right? Allie Batenhorst was incredible for Nebraska at times. She struggled in certain periods, but also, I mean, don't forget the hype around Allie Batenhorst coming out of high school down in Houston, Texas, in the Houston area, where she was the number one player coming out of high school, number one or Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school in the Houston area. She has been a big part in Nebraska's success over the last 3 years. However, we had this conversation last week when discussing about the recruitment of Taylor Landfair, Rico, where it was this idea of like they have five outside hitters. They have obviously the opposite of Merritt Beeson. Like, it felt like there was a lot. It felt like it was packed, and that they, frankly, with being such a talented and youthful team, somebody's got to go. Somebody was going to have to move on, and so therefore, Allie Batenhorst is the one that's decided to pursue her master's degree somewhere else. And so Nebraska, I mean, still in a great spot.
Oh, in a masterful position, because you still, again, you are getting the services of Lindsey Krause back off of that injury.
Yeah.
And again, she was the starter at that spot when the season began. So that is somebody who, again, has the experience, is in the same class, is the person that you had the most confidence in because you put her out there first. As long as she can stay healthy, you're sitting in a really pretty spot because, oh, by the way, you did bring Taylor Landfair, the 2022 Big Ten Player of the Year, into the fray. So Nebraska's still sitting good. Again, going to be looking at that middle blocker position to do something. And I just want to, the text line has already two locations for Allie Batenhorst.
Yeah.
Gorilla Bear says Batenhorst to Texas, and Notorious BIB says, wouldn't it be horrible if Allie ended up at Creighton? Well, she does. So like you said, she graduated from high school in the Houston area, but she does have family in the Omaha area. So I don't think Texas is going to be, because I believe they might be full, and they've already brought in like 17 transfers. It seems like this season, and I don't know Creighton's scholarship count right now, but I mean, would it hurt to see Allie Batenhorst wearing Creighton blue? Yes, it would, but at the same time, you'd get to see her again next year when Nebraska and Creighton play.
Not necessarily a fan of that idea, though.
No, not really.
I will say one position that I'm surprised there hasn't been attrition. And it's not that I'm sad or disappointed or mad that there hasn't been. It's a good thing.
It's not like you want it.
It's a good thing that this hasn't happened. But at center, right? You think about the situation at center, and this goes back like 3 years. So Nicklin Hames ends up, obviously it's like, all right, Nicklin Hames is going to move into a defensive specialist type of role and hand over the setting duties to Kennedy Orr.
Yep.
Kennedy Orr comes in as the number one setter out of high school and struggles at the start, right? And obviously there's a big chemistry factor that plays in knowing your teammates while you're at the setter position. Well, then they move Nicklin back to setter, and Kennedy Orr has to sit down. Well, then this season they bring in Bergen Riley, and she explodes,
the number one setter in the nation,
explodes onto the scene and has a really, really strong year. And so now you have Kennedy Orr, who was used in serving situations this last season.
She had to work her way. She had to work her way up to it. When the season started, people forget there were, there were two players who didn't play during Volleyball Day in Nebraska. That was Caroline Juravicius and Kennedy Orr.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the season, Kennedy Orr wasn't even used in the serving situations because we had heard how she was a strong server, but things just, weren't working out. And as the season progressed, she ended up taking that role for Maisie Boziger, who was coming in and serving for Nebraska. So then Kennedy Orr comes in, does that, plays, I think, as long as she's serving, is playing in the back row for Nebraska, doing a great job. But you're right, being the number one setter, the number one player in the nation, that season, her and Lindsey Krause were going back and forth between first and second player in the nation. At the end of the season, it ended up being Kennedy Orr, who was the best player in the nation. And coming in with all that hype and having Nicklin Hames in front of you, the first ever freshman to start at setter for Nebraska and for Nebraska volleyball, and having her, going through her career, finishing up her career, and then supposedly moving to that defensive specialist role and having things go the way that they did, it's got to make you feel some kind of way. But the strength and the tenacity that it takes to not only stick with the team after that season, but stick with the team after this last season, where a freshman comes in, supplants you for that role, and you still, again, decide to stick with the team for, I believe this will be her senior season. That's some kind of, like I said, strength and tenacity.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just think about the up and down career. And Bergen Riley, as we know, I mean, you feel like she probably has that setter position
on lock,
pretty locked up.
Yeah,
especially after this first season, and she was just a true freshman in 2023. So just a couple notes on volleyball there. Allie Batenhorst officially in the portal. Nebraska has one open scholarship. The portal is now closed. It closed on January 1st, but if you're a grad transfer, you're able to enter the portal at any time up until, I believe, May 1st, I believe, is the date that grad transfers have to be solidified in a spot as well. It's a big day in college football. We wrap up the college football season tonight in the national championship game with Michigan and Washington. Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. Is it Jim Harbaugh's final game?
Yes.
We'll talk all about that. How about this? Ted Carter, former Nebraska president, is now currently, if you forgot, the president at Ohio State.
People forget.
He had his introductory press conference, and the first question he was asked was about Ryan Day's job security. And so how about that? Ted Carter's first question that he was asked at his Ohio State introductory press conference was about Ted Carter. Don't forget, was about Ryan Day. Ted Carter also has to find a new athletic director because Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith is retiring at the end of the summer. So
that's a heck of a job to walk into.
There's a lot of things and a lot of duties on Ted Carter's plate as he enters into his tenure at Ohio State. So we'll discuss that a little bit, give you some more information on that, as well as Husker Hoops as they get ready to host the number one team in the nation tomorrow night at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Don't go anywhere. Happy hour continues next. Huge thanks to Empire Fence and Netting for their support as always. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Husker fans, your fourth-ranked Nebraska wrestling team needs you to pack the Bob Devaney Sports Center on Friday, January 12th for their Big Ten home opener and a top 5 matchup against number 2 Iowa. The duel will begin at 6:30, and the first 300 fans will receive a Nebraska wrestling shirt. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends. Right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com. where they're committed to you every step of the way.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, wintry mix and heavy snow. Traveling going to be very difficult. We'll see high around 33. Tonight, snow, wind, and blowing snow expected. We'll see a low around 18. And tomorrow, more snow, wind, blowing snow continuing throughout the day. We'll see a high around 24. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run a little bit. Speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed, I can't see much.
It's also. Oh, it's you.
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a parentheses or
too many commas over there.
Too many
Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Snow is continuing to fall here. I tell you what, as this is our first winter in the new building, not only is during the commercial breaks more exciting because for you guys, because you're able to kind of take a look outside if you want to, what downtown Lincoln might look like, but also for us, while we're on the air, you can kind of get distracted because the snow is obviously falling. People are shoveling. Trucks are driving by and plowing. So, I mean, look at that. Look at that big thing.
Look at that thing.
Got 2 plows on it.
Oh, there's another one.
Wow.
Man,
That's what I'm saying.
KJ would love this.
That's what I'm saying. That's pretty sweet. I hope some of them are listening to us. Appreciate all the work you guys are doing for the city, cleaning up the streets, trying to keep them somewhat safe. Be
Make
careful
sure you go
if
to
you're
my
driving.
neighborhood, please and thank you. Plow the roads in my neighborhood, please.
Be safe while you're out there. A tractor. Wow. How about that?
Anyway, I should have brought KJ to work.
Anyway, Nebraska women's basketball, real quickly. How about this? I forgot how good Nebraska women's basketball was back in, let's see, it'd be like 07 or 06
to like 14
to 2014.
Yeah.
I forgot how
Just
good
a
Nebraska was. So I'm looking at like their sports reference page, which just has their records back to back to back. And like in 07, they were 22-10, which is good, which is fine.
That's good. Yeah.
But then you have it to where in 2009, and this I believe would have been Kelsey Griffin's senior season. She averages 20 points and 11 rebounds a game.
Beast.
Kelsey Griffin did. Obviously, her jersey's in the rafters as well. 32-2. They follow that up with a 24-9 season, a 25-9 season, a 26-7 season, and a 21-9 season. And so, like, and you look at the NCAA tournament appearances, right? And it's just second round, regional semifinal, first round, regional semifinal, regional final, second round, first round. That just back to back to back to back to back. They're going to the NCAA tournament, and they were actually a 1 seed in the year that they were 32-2. They were a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, 32-2.
Only had 1 loss going into the tournament.
They were rated as high as 3rd in the country this season. They were 16-0 in the Big 12. Excuse me. Some of the players on that team. So obviously Kelsey Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dominique Kelly, who we know. Lindsey Moore, who was drafted to the Minnesota Lynx. You had, let's see, anybody else that's
notable names.
Yvonne Turner is on this list. So you had four players all averaging more than 11.5 points per game.
That was a squad.
And so it was. And it was fun to go to those women's basketball games. I went to more women's basketball games in growing up than I did men's basketball games, because on the little popcorn boxes, you had the Take 5 slips that you could go to any of the non-major sports if you had the slips and get a general admission ticket. So whenever we'd go to a women's basketball game, we'd get a box of popcorn. We'd all take the slip off the top and we'd keep them. So that way, when we wanted to go again, we would just be able to take the slips to the ticket counter, and they would give us general admission tickets.
Buy some more popcorn.
We'd sit up on the wooden bleachers at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and we call it good. And so so we always went to more women's basketball games than men's basketball games. And so anyway, like the 2009, I would have been 8, but I remember sitting up there watching them play like the Colorados and the Iowa States and such, when Kelsey Griffin and Dominique Kelly were also in the long shorts era for both basketball, men's and women's.
They need to bring the long shorts back.
In the long shorts era, but sitting up there on the wooden bleachers, watching Nebraska women's basketball just completely dominate. It was incredible.
I did not go to any Husker events growing up.
Dang, Rico, you had to get out more.
I would be honest, I didn't go to any.
You had to get out more.
I watched stuff on TV, but we didn't come to Lincoln all that often.
Once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys the rest of the way here. We're going to have a little bit of an extended crossover today with Austin. He's got some interesting information in terms of like comparing and contrasting Washington with Notre Dame in 2018. I believe he said the year was.
Interesting doesn't even like scratch the surface of what he has.
So we're going to discuss that with Austin here in a little over 10 minutes or so. But now let's talk about the game tonight, right? Washington, Michigan. You have JJ McCarthy on one side, who has been, I look at JJ as a serviceable quarterback.
I was going to say, like, at the beginning of the season when he was, throwing all those touchdowns and all those and just lighting people up, there were thoughts of like, oh, JJ McCarthy going to the NFL draft. He could be like a second, third round quarterback picked. And, there were talks about him being, really solid in the NFL. And then after Connor Stallions gets canned or whatever, those talks kind of faded away.
I think it's important. I don't mean that JJ isn't a good quarterback. Obviously, I think he's got like a 22-4 touchdown to interception ratio. But like you look at some of these games, right? And for a long time, for an extended period of time, you're having, he's throwing 143 passes or passing yards, 156 passing yards, 200 passing yards, 60 against Penn State. Now, I understand weather eventually played a factor into some of these games. However, they didn't have to ask JJ to do a whole lot of extraordinary things because they have guys around him, such as Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Now, that's not to say that JJ McCarthy wasn't really talented, because he did the simple things extraordinary.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm getting at is like, if Nebraska, not to put a Nebraska tie on this.
No, we always do.
If Nebraska can get Dylan Raiola to do the simple things extraordinarily well, then guess what? Nebraska's going to be in a very similar position in terms of like results, maybe not necessarily on the national scale, but in non-conference play against teams that you should beat. Nebraska's going to find out similar results because in so many years past, Nebraska hasn't done the simple things well. But back to JJ McCarthy, you have JJ on one side who doesn't always light up the statistic sheet, but then you have Michael Penix who does the exact opposite.
He lights the statistic sheet on fire
and just continues to show the ability of his arm strength. He has the highest rated completion percentage on throws over 35 yards that travel through the air. Over 35 yards.
His timing and accuracy, and I don't know the word that I'm looking for, is like being able to just like when a wide receiver gets out of their break, like being able to predict where people are going to be and all that. Like he is just impeccable. Just the way that he's able to pick apart a defense with his arm and the pinpoint accuracy that he has to fit the ball through the smallest of windows and just beat the safety on some of those throws across the middle. And his deep passes have just like the perfect arc, and he's dropping it in the bucket every time. And it does help.
He's basically anticipating where the receiver's going to be. Understanding, knowing where it's going to be.
It does help to have Roma Dunze on the outside as well.
Gorilla Bear helped you out as well. Anticipation.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
But no, so I mean, Michael Penix this season, 4,600 plus yards, 35 touchdowns through the air for the 6'3" senior Indiana transfer at one point. I mean, here's what I'll say. This is his sixth season of college football for Michael Penix. And if you remember Washington in that game against Texas, Michael Penix, 29 of 38 for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. They end up just, narrowly beating Texas 37-31. But I'm fascinated, and I said this earlier this morning, to see if he's able to have a Texas-esque performance today. What could this do for his draft stock? Because now the conversation that really started on, what was that day? New Year's Day, when they played Texas, is like, can he climb enough to compete with the Drake Mays in the world, right? Maybe he's not going to catch the Caleb Williams at one first round, first overall. But nonetheless, you looked at Michael Penix, and not only is he an experienced college quarterback tonight, but he's got weapons on the outside in Roma Dunze. He has a weapon behind him or in the backfield with him in Dylan Johnson. And Washington really surprised me with how well they handled the trenches against Texas. Texas has a really, really good defensive line. Now, Washington plays like a video game type of offense. Like it feels like if I was the offensive coordinator of a team, I would want to run it just like Washington.
100%.
But now what's interesting is like I thought they handled the trenches and the line play from Texas really, really well in the semifinal, which gives me more thought and hope, I guess, that they'll be able to at least hold their own against Michigan tonight.
Yeah, Texas is a pretty physical team, and I'm not going to say that they have the same physicality as Michigan does, but the ability for Washington to do just enough in the trenches to allow Michael Penix, and like you said, it's video game numbers, but still, and video game play, but still, the amount of time that he was able to have in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket, and the fact that he wasn't running for his life against, again, a physical, talented Texas defensive line should give you a little bit more hope, at least going into this one. I know it gave me a little bit more hope going into this one for Washington's offensive line to give Penix just enough time to be able to find his wide receivers.
I think it's interesting because when you look at Washington here, and I lost my train of thought for a moment, but when you look at Washington, they are gutsy offensively. And this is supposedly, give Ryan Grubb, their offensive coordinator, credit. I don't know if you remember the highlight they showed from the Apple Bowl or the Apple Cup between Washington and Washington State. It was like 4th down and 1. Washington was up by a few points, and they were on their own like 35 or 40 yard line, and they ended up doing a reverse handoff with a wide receiver.
Yes,
to get like a 4th down and 4. And it wasn't they decided, right, where a lot of teams, especially if they're this talented and if they believe in their run game, they'll run it up the middle and they'll get, the desired yards to gain.
You'll get a yard
and they'll be good. But and that's what I mean, I guess, when I say video game type of playbook, because they're so unique and they're so dynamic, and they got guys all around the field that can help you and can obviously hurt you if you're a defense. That not only showed the belief in execution of the offense for Washington, but it also showed belief in their defense that, hey, if we need to put our guys back out there, you're not playing, I don't want to put anybody under the bus, but you're not playing Rutgers. Like, you're not playing, Nebraska's offense. You had Cam Ward that you were going against. At that time, Washington State was still a top 15 team in the country. So you had to keep in mind, like, the situation, it's gutsy, but they believed in the execution. And we saw it against Texas, especially, where execution won the game quite a few times for Washington.
Washington is able to run the plays that you would see Scott Frost run and get upset, saying, you're getting too cute, just run the ball up the middle, just do this. Washington and their execution and the athletes that they have, and again, the confidence that they have in themselves, are able to run those plays. Because in that 4th and 1 situation on your own 35, you're just like, just get the first down, just get the yard, just push forward, fall forward, get the yard, and call whatever plays. And Washington's just like, what would be really cool is if we ran a reverse and got like 30 yards.
Who wins tonight, Rico?
I don't want Michigan to win.
Okay.
It's really hard for me to look at these two teams, and it seems like every time this happens in these matchups, a top offense versus a top defense, the defense always seems to prevail. And there's a chance that either way, that it could be a very ugly game. It could be Washington just lighting up the scoreboard against Michigan. It could be Michigan just ground and pound, keeping the ball out of Penix's hands and running the score up, just holding Washington steady on offense. But I think it's going to be a really solid game. I think the scores, both teams get into like the 30s.
Okay.
But I think Washington pulls it out with like a 3-point victory.
I think it's going to be a really good game. I think both, although they might be contrasting styles, it's not that Michigan can't throw the ball. I think they're going to have to ask JJ to maybe throw a little bit more. Remember of in the semis against Alabama, there was a play, I believe it was a flea flicker, where Blake Corum had to toss it back and JJ fumbled it. Well, right across the middle was Roman Wilson running wide open. Now, it ended up not hurting the Wolverines when it was all said and done, but I think that they're going to have to ask JJ to maybe do a little bit more tonight. And so relying a lot on Washington's secondary, I think it's going to be a really close game. I think Washington, if they're able to make it a 35 plus type of game, they're going to win this one. Now, if Washington is stymied by Michigan's defense, that's really, really talented, then it stays in like the 20s, then I think this is going to be a Michigan game. And so at the end of the day, I think Washington's offense is going to be really, really difficult to beat. I think, and just to show you how people feel, Brad says it's going to be a blowout Michigan. Gorilla Bear says it reminds me of the TCU Michigan game last year. I would give it towards.
I would sign up for that.
Maybe, yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to be a close, and by close, I like 7 to 10 point Washington win, similar to like the 37-31 that they had against Texas. Similar to the 37-31 finish that they had against the Longhorns. So there you go, 402-464-5685. Let us know who you think is going to win tonight and why. And if you know what, if you want to send in a score and try to predict it, then we can figure out something.
I'll tell you why you're wrong.
There you go. All right, 402-464-5685. Give us a score prediction. When we return, we bring in Austin as he gets ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin today. He's got some interesting statistics involving this very same Washington Huskies squad. Don't forget, be safe, be patient if you're driving out on the roads this afternoon. And let us know. Give us a road condition update as we're getting ready to go and head out of here in the next couple of hours. But we're able to see snow still falling here pretty consistently on the corner of 11th and O. So we'll be right back as we close out the happy hour on a Monday, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends, right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A Lincoln forecast for today, wintry mix and heavy snow. Traveling going to be very difficult. We'll see a high around 33. Tonight, snow, wind, and blowing snow expected. We'll see a low around 18. And tomorrow, more snow, wind, blowing snow continuing throughout the day. We'll see a high around 24. Meteorologist Kyle Kleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Is your furnace or heat pump ready for winter? Call Bryant to schedule your home heating check. Comfortable, safe, efficient. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
How about this? David Fullerton says this: whiteout in central Nebraska. I'm a mailman driving 140 miles today on country roads.
Woo!
Dude, Dave,
go get him, Dave.
Be safe, man. Be safe. Yeah, please be safe. We have driving back to Lincoln from Henderson. Oh wow, a little picture with us. Oh yeah, that's some snow out there.
Not bad.
Yeah, so they've gotten some snow out there. So yeah, I mean, it's coming down. It's not necessarily as powerful as it was. I think the Weather Channel guys are here. They're actually just a block from us.
Yeah, I was going to cross the street and I'm like, I'm not going to walk into that shot. So I went the other way.
I'm going to be honest, and I'll tell the people, I was trying to get Reynolds Wolf onto the show to talk about the snow, but he was doing a live shot, and I can't interrupt. So
you should have walked into the shot.
And then hey, Reynolds, you want to come on the show? 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, come on down.
You would have seen Nick Sainert on the Weather Channel today. Local on the 8th.
He was out there drawing on the sidewalk,
Yeah,
on our block. He was just right up there.
Anyway, it wasn't Cantori, so it doesn't matter. So you don't matter. I didn't say that. I said it doesn't matter. But nonetheless, 402-464-5685. The Honda Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the rest of the way here. We get ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin here with just Austin. Strick is remote, obviously, because
do we
want to
add Strick? He's on the
Strick's available. Absolutely.
We can see if Stricky wants to join. What up, Stricky?
What it do?
There
another
he is.
Day in the snow. How about
another
that?
day, another $1, Stricky. Wow, look at you with the virtual background.
That's a nice looking background. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Look at Stricky. Wow. Anyway,
I'm at the ticket, baby. I'm here. I'm just in the background.
Hey, Strick, why do you have why is there bricks inside your house? Like, do you just not
It's cracking over here, baby. It's a new year, new style. Let's get it.
There's nothing wrong with unfinished basements.
I have an unfinished basement. It's wonderful.
Anyway,
I feel like there's a joke to be made in there about the old NBA player with bricks, but I'm not going to make
it. Dang. Anyway, he's a savage. Anyway, this 2-hour show is going to be real interesting coming up today. But anyway, Austin, you have some interesting statistics involving Washington and a Notre Dame team of the past.
Yes. So this year's Notre Dame team. Let me backtrack a little bit. There have been 3 teams in recent memory to win a national championship without having a top 5 recruiting class in the previous 4 years before they won.
Okay.
2010 Auburn.
Okay.
Cam Newton. 2016, 2018 Clemson. Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence.
Hunter Renfrow.
So the reason I bring that up, you have Washington. I think Michigan as well, but it was borderline top 5, but never actually got top 5. So either one of those teams win the national championship, they add to that list. So I thought to myself, I wonder how these teams compare to those teams, right? Are there some analogs in there to go through? So I was going through pretty much Bill Connolly of ESPN, his SP Plus numbers, and there's a lot more behind the scenes. These aren't stylistic one-to-ones or anything, but just looking at the raw SP Plus numbers, right? So if this Washington team was put back in 2010, it would have had Stanford's offense and that national championship Auburn defense. On the flip side, Michigan in 2010 would have had Miami's offense and West Virginia's defense,
which were
good. Yes. It was the number 13 offense and number 1 defense.
Okay.
Then that 2010 year, I just did the top SP Plus comparison for each of these teams. There isn't one for Michigan. The best team in 2010 was Bama by SP Plus. They didn't win it. But they were 1 point worse than this year's Michigan team. The top comparison, a perfect 1-to-1 match in SP Plus for what Washington would have been in 2010, Nebraska.
No way.
Washington in the national championship today is the equivalent of Nebraska making it in 2010.
And in 2010 would have been the year that Nebraska lost to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. They were up in that first half big.
Yep.
And I think they were up by like 20 points. It was 20-3. They were up 20-3, and they ended up losing the game. They didn't score a single point in the second half.
Nope.
It's fun.
Wow.
It's funny to remember, like you just saying, West Virginia and Miami. Like, it's funny to remember some of the teams, however many years ago that were actually really good, like a West Virginia.
Yeah.
Was Dana there? No, not yet.
Not.
Yes.
Yeah, Dana would have been there in 2010.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
2013.
No, he was there later.
That was the year before Dana.
Yeah.
The year before Dana.
Okay. Who was their head coach?
I just read this. Yes. I pulled up the Wikipedia. I'm on Wikipedia again here.
We love Wikipedia.
I'll get back to this in a sec. But he took over for Bill Stewart.
Okay.
Anyways, if you go to the Wikipedia page for Dana Holgerson.
Is it already edited?
No, it is not.
Okay.
The final sentence of his personal life section the final paragraph is Holgerson has 3 children, McLean, Logan, and Carlin. He built his home in Morgantown in 2014. The home is the first luxury residence in the United States to be built completely of cross-laminated timber.
No way. Strick, if you're doing a house remodel, if you're doing a remodel, Strick, you should use timber.
Cross-laminated timber.
Cross-laminated
You're gonna
instead
have
of bricks.
the second ever luxury home, man.
We're going to have a demolition day at Strick's house.
Cross-laminated timber.
Oh boy, you guys are wild.
No, that's so crazy because you look back at that 2010 Nebraska year. So I love going down deep dives like this. Nebraska Cornhuskers 2010. They finished 5-7.
2010?
No, just kidding.
Not
That's
right.
ESPN has that wrong. I was saying that is
that
not
was their last year's record. That was 10-4. It was 10-4. It was a boat.
10-4. Yes.
Shout out to Jared.
They were 10-2. Why did it say 5-7?
And then they lost to
were
Oklahoma,
10-2,
and then they lost to Georgia.
Nope.
South Carolina?
Holiday Bowl.
Washington, the rematch.
There you go.
That's right.
19-7. How about this? Listen to some of these statistics in the bowl game against Washington in the Bridgepoint Education Holiday Bowl.
Should go back to that.
So Washington wins 19-7 in this game. Let me pull up like all the stats.
Jake Locker's quarterbacking, right?
Ooh. Yes.
Jake Locker, forgotten name.
Jake Locker is the quarterback. Chris Polk was the running back. And then the leading wide receiver for Washington was DeAndre Goodwin in this team. Some of the other notable names for it. Let's see if there's Jermaine Kearse was on that Washington team. Nonetheless, Nebraska, Taylor Martinez has the most passing yards in the game with 53. Jake Locker had 46.
So that was a
He
great
was getting
game.
ready to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
though.
Jake Locker finished, let's see.
That was a great
Finished
game for
5
passing offenses everywhere.
Jake Locker finished 5 of 16 for 46 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Taylor Martinez finished 7 of 9 for 53 yards for a touchdown, and a pick.
How was Jake Locker ever looked at as an NFL quarterback after that
so
game?
then you sit there and you
Well,
say,
it was Locker, Gabbert, and Newton on that cover.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so then you sit there and say, okay, Nebraska must have had a pretty good day rushing the ball.
Nope.
Rex Burkhead was the leading rusher in this game. 12 carries, 39 yards. He had 28 of those yards came on one run.
So he had 11 carries for 11 yards otherwise.
Yes.
That is a great game.
Yes.
That is
Roy
just-
Haylou added 34. Taylor Martinez had 23. And Cody Green ran 3 times for -2 yards.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Those are sacks.
How about this? Trivia question.
Hit me.
Who was Nebraska's leading receiver in this game?
2010.
2010. It's a tight end.
Niles Paul.
No, it's not Niles Paul. It's a tight end we don't talk enough about.
Kyler Reed.
It is not Kyler
No,
Reed.
Mike
it's,
McNeil.
no.
Bingo.
Oh.
Yep.
Mike McNeil. 3 catches, 33 yards for Nebraska. Kyler Reed had 2 catches, 31 yards. Brandon Kinney. 2 catches, 21 yards. And that was about it.
He was the most straight up and down runner I've seen in my life, but darn if he wasn't effective.
Dang. You know who one guy that I always wished was a little more effective, but because I really enjoyed watching him for no reason at all. Tim Marlowe.
Tim Marlowe.
Tim Marlowe out of Youngstown, Ohio. I think he might be coaching at Youngstown. I know at least he coached with Bo while at Youngstown. But Tim Marlowe was one. So Nebraska loses this game 19-7, although Washington was unranked and Nebraska was 18th in the country.
He's still there.
He is still at Youngstown. There he is. Assistant football coach, wide receivers
Doesn't he just
coach.
look like the most Bo Pelini player you've seen in your
Oh my
life?
goodness.
Yeah, that's Tim Marlowe right there.
He just looked at him and said, "You look like me."
You're one of mine.
Jeez, that's crazy. So 19.
Rico,
Yes.
what's up on the picks, man?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you guys do
Where'd the
picks last
paper
week?
go?
We did. I had the paper here. I forgot to grab it.
No.
And now I don't know.
Unbelievable.
There's a reason why.
Well, it was a very last minute. I was writing it down as we were going.
I know I super locked Indy, so I'm -2 on that one.
Dang.
We super locked South Dakota State, and we got that right.
You did.
And we hit.
Yeah, we hit that one.
There you go. Nice job, Stricky.
We all picked Pittsburgh,
Yep.
and that worked.
We all picked Buffalo.
Yep, because we didn't want Jake Sorensen to be happy.
The smile on Jay's face in those tweets.
dude.
That man is living his best
It was
life today.
incredible. Jay, I don't know if Jay's listening. Jay doesn't smile with teeth very often.
That man.
But here's the
Pearly
deal.
whites.
He showed all of his teeth in those photos with Jake with that Bills jersey on Sorensen. So that's incredible.
He had the big winter hat on too,
Yep. Yeah.
preparing Miami for what's to come.
Brought the jersey in. He's like, I got this beautiful jersey for you.
All right, guys, what's coming up on the show today?
It's going to be a good one. We'll keep going over the national championship. Lot to preview there. More numbers I have to go through. Some more interesting comparisons. Jameis and the Saints going rogue.
Love it.
The last play
Love
of the
it.
game. We'll get into some Husker weekend headlines. Good news on the recruiting front.
Yeah.
Dana Holgerson rumors. Nash Hutmacher. A lot of basketball to get to. Actually, let's do basketball in the first segment. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then Brian Munson. A little bit of a recruiting update. He was not at the All-American Bowl, but he talked to the guys. He watched it. So we'll get an update on the Husker trio from there and a couple other general recruiting things for Brian.
Not to take away from Austin and Strick's thunder, Bryce Williams is now questionable going into tomorrow's night's game against the Boilermakers. So stick around as Strick and Austin break that down the entire show. Not the entire show, but for a good chunk of the show today. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial.